Hey guys, meet Larry. He's a pretty hardworking fella. Gets lost sometimes, slightly has dementia, every now and then falls off the curb and I have to pick him up, but overall, he's a hardworking one. So Larry is actually created by Mammotion. Mammotion makes robotic lawnmowers, and this is the Yuka 1500. This model actually allows you to attach on a sweeper, but I really don't have much to sweep around here, so he actually doesn't have the sweeper attachment on his back end. What I do have, though, is a fairly complicated yard. I have a lot of fencing with some trees, a house that has a bi-level cantilever, so it does block some of the GPS in certain aspects of the lawn. And I also have a bunch of edging. So there's a fireplace, there's a patio, there's a curb that you can fall off of. So it's a great testing ground for a robot lawnmower. This robot lawnmower doesn't use any boundary wires. Instead, it relies on vision and GPS as well as a base station. So originally I wanted to put the lawnmower on the side of the house because, this is the ugly side of my house and I wanted to hide it away from everything else. So the problem with that though is the cantilever up there. So because the house sticks out over the yard, parking it down here on the corner actually didn't work because it loses GPS. Apparently, you need to have a 90-degree view of the sky in order to acquire proper GPS. If the lawnmower doesn't have a GPS signal, then it doesn't know. So Larry basically has no idea where it is, and it refuses to mow at all. So I have my base station up here, and this base station essentially is a stationary GPS unit, which communicates with the lawnmower by this radio antenna. And then with using 2 points of GPS, it can accurately mow the entire lawn. It doesn't do very well near tall trees because it also blocks its GPS signal. So if it's mowing down here where it has to get into like a crevice or it needs to go somewhere where the signals are blocked, it's lost signal several times. So this area is like a hit or miss. What it will do though is wait until the signal is restored and then resume its function. So it'll sometimes sit there for 5 or 6 minutes until a GPS satellite, one of the satellites comes back into view, and then it can continue along its way. One day I actually had some fun and I actually sent my robot across the street to mow my neighbor's yard, and it actually could do it. So right now I don't really know what the max distance is on the base station over here. It seems to just go across the street just fine. So one day I might take it all the way down the road and let's see what happens with it. One of the best things about a vision and GPS based system is that you can adjust it in the future. When you put down a boundary wire and you screw up, you have to go out there, dig it up, and then readjust it. And if you don't have enough length, then you have to redo the whole thing. But a GPS based system is pretty simple. You basically drive it to the perimeter of where you want to change it and then redrive the new boundary. That way it's all done and you don't have to lay out any wire. The boundary system was very limited. Like it can only do one area enclosed by the charging station and that was it. The GPS and vision-based system is much more flexible and definitely worth trying out. We got rid of a trampoline here, so now Larry can mow here. Now all I have to do is drive him out here, hit reprogram, drive the new perimeter, and then now he can mow here. So this is great. If I had a boundary system, I would have had to splice and add more boundary wire to enable him to mow in this area. So even though it's vision-based and Larry's not supposed to hit anything, sometimes if it's in the peripheral, like on the side of the vision, he doesn't really see it very well, and he'll bump into it and just continue along its way. Like, for example, my fire pit right here. So, it's supposed to be mortared together, but over the years it's fallen apart. So now it's like he bumps into it and he knocks a couple bricks loose and then he just continues on his merry way, completely ignoring the fact that he broke my fire pit. There was actually an incident where Larry was coming in from the back side of the slide and he couldn't see, like he didn't see that there was an obstacle right here, but the edge of the mower caught the edge of the slide and it started to lift this slide straight up. And if we didn't stop him, he probably would have ripped the slide right off the house. So yeah, it's not perfect. Another thing I noticed with the vision-based obstacle avoidance is that you can stand in front of it and it will go around you just fine. But if you suddenly quickly walk in front of it and hit the brakes, it may not react to you in time. So like if my son's running around and he just like runs in front of the lawnmower and stops, it'll actually bump into his legs. Thankfully though, it's not that hard. So like it still presses with enough force to like move certain objects. So like for example, if a ball just randomly falls in front of Larry, he'll actually start pushing it along across the lawn for a minute before he stops. But if you were to just like stand in front of it and not move, he'll go around you just fine. So basically what I'm saying is the vision-based system is not foolproof. It'll see something, but it will sometimes bump into them. If you are using a robot lawnmower, you have to be ready to weed whack and trim the edges on your own. And that's because the blades itself, they don't get very close to the edge of the lawnmower. So like on a typical lawnmower, the blade gets about within like half an inch to an inch towards the edge of the cutting disc, you know, the big metal chamber that's the disc is spinning in. It's very close to the edge. So if you just ride it close to the edge of like a curb or something, it'll cut everything. But unfortunately, with some of these lawnmowers, the blades are very far away from the edge because it has like a bumper. So the bumper system plus the the housing inside and the disc being smaller, it just leaves a big gap. So this lawnmower can't get any closer than about 3 to 4 inches of anything. So you'll have a lot of edging to take care of. All right, cool. So that's my take on Larry the Lawnmower. If you guys think it's worth it, let me know in the comments below. Would you buy one of these? What's the price point that would tempt you to buy one? And what feature would it need to have? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you guys around. Bye.